We have to be ready. You, me, the others. There's an attack coming from far away.
It's no secret that I'm a huge Marvel fanboy, especially the X-Men series. But I acknowledge that DC has some really compelling characters of their own, notwithstanding Superman. No matter what side of the fence you fall on, you can't argue that one area DC is hugely lagging behind Marvel in is in their cinematic universe. While I actually liked Man of Steel and I'm not so down on Batman vs Superman like others, fuck that Martha scene though. They haven't really grabbed me like Marvel's movies, and Suicide Squad is pure hot garbage. They really need a win here, and while I'm generally optimistic about Wonder Woman, Justice League is a movie they desperately need to hit on all cylinders.
You're the Batman?
I'm still pretty iffy about it, but seeing them all together is undeniably cool. Cyborg still looks hella wonky to me, but Aquaman looks like an absolute badass. Was that actual humor I heard? In the DC movie universe? Say it ain't so.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
The rich and the powerful, like Stark, they don't care about us.
Not to be outdone by DC, Marvel released their own hype reel for their own version of Spider-Man. Seeing Spidey and Iron Man teaming up continues to be cool as hell, but after so many Spider-Man movies, I just don't get that pump for these trailers anymore. They show a lot more about the story, the features of a Stark designed suit, and how things might play out, which all looks great, but I'm ready to tap out on all the build up, and I'll just wait till this one finally releases.
No.
Talk about my childhood. I would never have thought that Captain Underpants would get a movie, yet alone a big budget one. It's been so long since I've read these that I can't remember if this is how the source material was, but they do seem to nail the larger, most iconic parts of it. And it looks genuinely funny.
Come, sidekick! We gotta stop him!
I'll be right in line with all the other adults who've never grown up for this one.
Yep, we should probably go get him.
Their greatest creation.
Captain Underpants, you can't actually fly!
I take to the sky like an ostrich!
Wow, he is super dumb.
This ancient power has returned.
Yet another iconic franchise getting the reboot treatment, and for a second time nonetheless. I absolutely love the first few go-arounds with Brendan Fraser, and the story of the Mummy is about as iconic as it can get. But this one, I'm not so sold on. They really upped the horror and seriousness of the things, and I'm not sure I'll be able to shake off the impression those early ones had on me. This doesn't look nearly as fun.
The ultimate evil.
Legend has it she's a being of unimaginable powers. Now she's using you to regain them.
They must pay. I will finish this.
This is easily one of the most underrated reboots in modern history. The story, the CGI, the characters have all been absolutely top notch, and I've been anxiously waiting for the conclusion to the trilogy of Caesar and the Rise of the Apes.
The law of nature. So look what you've done.
This one will be the most action-packed yet, and watching Woody Harrelson and Caesar face off will surely be something epic to see. July can't get here soon enough.
You'll never be one of them. You are
We are the beginning!
apes together, strong.
Locked, and it stays that way.
Well, they're still making Annabelle for all she's worth, I see. She was genuinely creepy as a small aside in The Conjuring, but her first standalone left a lot to be desired. This looks like a clear departure from the lore, and I don't know where this actually will fit in with the rest of his story, but it at least looks to have more memorable moments in this than the first one.
What do you need?
For 16 years, I kept this secret from my wife, my brother.
HBO has been on a roll lately. They look like they're more than ready and capable of taking on Netflix in the realm of original movie productions. They got the money and the power to go and get legendary actors like Robert De Niro, and the fact that he's taking on the infamous Bertie Madoff makes this one instantly intriguing to me. It's a story that I think most people only have a loose grasp of, and it's never been told in such a compelling way.
He took our entire life savings.
So what are you saying? We have to turn him in?
This war's been running 8 years now. Given your reputation and your formidable drive.
HBO might just now be getting to the big budget original movie productions, but Netflix has been at it for the last few years now, and they put out some real gems since then. And look to have another one on their hands with War Machine. They went and got Brad Pitt to play what looks like a modern version of Aldo Rain from Inglourious Bastards, which I absolutely loved.
We can stay in Afghanistan forever. That's why I'm gonna win it.
This stark comedy about the war in the Middle East looks like a must-see with a great cast.
We build Afghanistan into a free and prosperous nation. All right, smile for the cameras, Glenn.
Sounds a lot like the old direction.
Death Note is about as iconic as you can get from modern animes. The story and characters are fantastic, and is right up there with my favorite animes of all time. So it's really no surprise to see that's getting its own movie adaptation. But this honestly looks terrible. They don't show a whole lot, but it looks like a TV movie, and to see it set in Seattle instead of the original, infinitely more interesting Japan is jarring to say the least. I'll probably watch it because I love the source material, but my expectations are very low.
The woman whose name is written in this note shall die.
We've had 2 official complaints about those billboards.
From who?
The lady with the
Fox Searchlight looks like they just might have another Best Picture nominee on their hands. This looks like a hysterical dark comedy with some fantastic performances by the leads. Maybe it's because of the small town setting, but I'm getting some very Fargo-esque vibes from this one. That's a very good thing. Must see.
I'm sorry about Angel, but the town is dead set against these billboards.
You know who threw that can?
What can?
How about you, sweetheart?
No, I didn't really.
Go, girl.
Hey, fuckhead!
What?
Don't say what, Dixon, when she comes in calling you a fuckhead.
When I was little and we used to move all.
This looks about as indie as they come. I have no idea what the story is about, but from the trailer, I feel like it'll be one of those artsy films that doesn't really have a traditional story or a concrete point to get across. I'm not a big fan of those type of movies, but I do like the washed out visuals and throwback aspect ratio. And I'm a fan of Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, so I might give it a chance. Might. Now, I'm normally very skeptical about remakes / reboots of iconic films, especially ones from my childhood. I've got cause to be so, as they're typically terrible and unnecessary. But I'm slightly optimistic about this one. It was one of the most memorable movies from my childhood and a favorite of mine. But I'll be honest when I say it hasn't held up particularly well through the times. With this first look at the remake, I've got to say that there are some genuinely creepy looking moments in this one, and they have some really cool nods back to the original. I think they'll lean more into the horror, and that could be a good thing, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for this one. What'd you think about this week's videos? Which one were your favorites? Did I miss any that I should check out? Let me know in the comments below, and if you liked the video, please leave it a like, share the link, and be sure to subscribe to stay up with all the new content.
With me, you'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll